Hi everybody, this is Lee. This video is commenting on the debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. I will speak briefly about Jill Stein, and then I'm going to create a different video discussing Jill Stein's insertion into the debates via Democracy Now! Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were asked questions about several topics by Chris Wallace, and then Jill Stein inserted her commentary via Facebook Live into that discussion. And I watched via Jill Stein's discussion just so I could deprogram between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Jill Stein was available to help deprogram from the fraud, the masquerade, the charade that's been perpetrated on the two major parties. So Chris Wallace asked them questions about the Supreme Court justices. And interestingly enough, Hillary Clinton once again brought up the Citizens United. And I just said, when is someone going to tell her that she was the main beneficiary of campaign finance violations? She was the one who accumulated the most dark money that she keeps talking about. But that's, again, gaslighting. That's what she does. Anyway, they talked about guns, abortion, immigration, and deportation. And Donald Trump did point out the fact that it was Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama who's been doing the most deporting of immigrants or refugees from our country. It was under Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton's leadership as president and head of the State Department. WikiLeaks came up, and Donald Trump again made his accusations. Hillary Clinton did a very quick pivot away, so quick it almost gives you whiplash. That's how quick that pivot was, like zero. And she once again said, "Well, Russia is persecuting me. Russia is Russia." And again, there's, Trump is saying, well, we don't know who it is, but here the emails are. But Clinton was on that Russia stuff. So basically, it just goes to show how she is when her back is on the wall. They also discussed the economy and ISIS and how to deal with ISIS. Then quickly, when Hillary Clinton was back, when her back gets against the wall, she goes to identity politics. That's her fail-safe. If the lies and the gaslighting don't work, then identity politics. So she brought that up. And Donald Trump hit her on Saudi Arabia, the Clinton Foundation, and Haiti. And so that's when she goes to identity politics. And again, she was making her hand signals. That's what she was doing. Signaling for help. She was back in her stride. She was back on her stride because she had worked out. Donald Trump was more subdued than in the second debate when he was just really handing her you know what. On the third debate, she's more confident because I guess Donald Trump had a good talking to by someone, but he started out kind of subdued, but then he kind of unleashed a little bit towards the end. They talked about Dodd-Frank and Wall Street, and how, well, no, actually that was Jill Stein. That was when Jill Stein inserted herself in and commented that, again, the hypocrisy of regulating Wall Street and campaign finance when Dodd-Frank was just for a show. And she commented on Donald Trump's self-congratulatory fantasies and Hillary Clinton's distortions and her public versus private position. Go Jill! So Jill Stein also pointed out the fact that voting reform has been tried, campaign finance reform has been tried, things like that, and it's been stymied. And then Hillary Clinton is doing all and all that stuff to get help. And so there was a piling on, it looked to me, on Donald Trump. And it seemed out of left field where Chris Wallace decided to hammer Donald Trump on the concept of rigging elections. And it seems so weird to me that they were trying to get him to promise to accept the outcome. And, again, I actually agree with Donald Trump's position. Let's see how it turns out. Let's see the process of how it goes. Let's look at the exit polling. Let's look at all the integrity of the election first before we decide that it's a fair election. You can't decide something is fair ahead of time. You can't decide a race is fair before the race is even run. That's ridiculous. But they're piling on Donald Trump, and I saw some of the write-ups immediately following the debate that people are like outraged and shocked, and this is unprecedented, and he's destroying America, and it's, how, this is disqualifying. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's almost unprecedented for the amount of fraud that we've seen during the Democratic primary that's been uncovered by the Democratic, by WikiLeaks against the Democratic. There's a lawsuit. There's evidence to back up the lawsuit. There's been resignations indicating that the evidence is trustworthy from, a trustworthy source. Hillary Clinton's trying to say it's Russia, but then people have been resigning their positions over what's been revealed. And what has been revealed is fraud during the Democratic primary from the Democratic Party itself. And so for them to say, well, do you promise to accept the results no matter how they turn out? That's ridiculous. And why should he do that? There's been exit polling discrepancies on the Democratic side where the polling did not match or even come close within the margin of error to the exit polling didn't match the voter turnout, the voter count. And so that's an issue with the integrity of our electoral system. The thing is, I'm going to explain to Donald Trump, and hopefully he watches, I think maybe, sort of, hopefully, these videos. It's possible. Anything's possible. But I'm going to explain, so hopefully it is understood. If you go to a website called Election Justice USA, there's a PDF there that outlines exactly and precisely how the Democratic primary was rigged through various means. And if you read through that, you'll see that the problem during the Democratic primary was not voter fraud. The fraud was not committed by the voters. The fraud was committed by election officials, people who had access to the systems themselves, the access to do vote purging or voter purging, and then vote flipping, hacking into the machines where there's no audit trail, and the party switches. These were all committed by people who had access to election machinery and mechanisms in order to make these changes to commit this fraud against the voters. The problem during the Democratic primary was not voter fraud. The problem during the Democratic primary was election fraud. This was a fraud committed upon the voters, not by the voters. It was committed against the voters. These were crimes committed against the voters who were victimized by election officials, people who had unofficial or criminal access to machinery and committed crimes against the voters. There's a difference. And so making these accusations against the voters, I think, is wrong, at least during the Democratic primary. The voters didn't commit the fraud. The election officials in at least 11 states committed fraud against the voters, handing Hillary Clinton the win for the nomination. Hillary Clinton won the Democratic primary through fraudulent means. There's lawsuits for exit polling data. There's lawsuits to retrieve the campaign donations because They were acquired from deceptive practice, which is a crime, by the Democratic Party. Not the voters. The voters did not commit that crime. They had a crime committed against them. So, just so that's understood. And I think the thing is, many want to create this into a partisan issue. But regardless of what party a voter belongs to, they don't deserve to have that crime committed against them. And so there's a difference, and I do think that needs to be understood. But anyway, I still believe that the piling on of Donald Trump on Donald Trump about him wanting to see the integrity of the voting process before making any promises about the outcome, I think that is the correct position to take. And the bullying by our sitting president, who has inserted himself into campaigning for Hillary Clinton when it's pretty obvious that she can't win an election by herself, that Obama continues to disgrace himself, a sitting president acting this way on the campaign trail on behalf of Hillary Clinton. And I am going to say that Bill Clinton made a little side remark, a sly, slick remark in 2008 against Barack Obama, implying that years ago Barack Obama would have been bringing Hillary Clinton her coffee, and people were outraged at the audacity and the insult. But now I'm looking at things myself and how this campaign has trended, with people coming out and just acting ridiculous on the campaign trail on behalf of Hillary Clinton in desperation to get her elected, including the sitting president and the first lady. It's possible that Barack Obama has been carrying water for Hillary Clinton, if not her coffee. In the debates, they also discussed Syria and Aleppo. Hillary Clinton made some kind of remark that the terror in the Orlando shooting at the nightclub originated from Queens, where Donald Trump was born. And it was just so weird. I think Donald Trump was told her she was a nasty woman. But, you know, that's Hillary Clinton. That's her personality. She was calling Republicans Dr. Kevorkian while she's trying to get her health initiative passed. And now, you know, she was wondering why she couldn't get Hillary Clinton care passed. And it was her own attitude that stood in the way. She doesn't play nice. She doesn't play even appropriate or fair. She's pretty much fitting how Donald Trump has described her, as we've seen throughout this primary season. So people say who won, who lost. To me, it was an even draw. I do believe that Jill Stein won the first debate, that Donald Trump won the second debate. This third debate, I'm going to say that between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, it was a draw. And I'm going to view Jill Stein's debate footage from Democracy Now! And then comment. I get the feeling that Jill Stein's going to win, but I'm going to view it first and then let people view it themselves and make their own decisions about that. But it was good to have Jill Stein commenting at least during the live stream from her Facebook page to kind of build a way for the viewer to kind of get their head straight, because there's been so much gaslighting and psychological warfare, bullying, threats, and fear and terror used against the electorate to drive them towards Hillary Clinton. That was good to have a voice of reason. So I'll let you view Jill Stein's live stream footage, and then I'm going to view the Democracy Now! Footage, and I'll comment on that later. Good luck.